Welcome back to a very special edition of Cinema Society Saturday, and I'm Gus from Askewed Reviews. So, if you're a big fan of horror movies, and if you've spent any time on Horror Talk when it comes to TikTok, then you are probably well aware of Andrew Horror. Now, this was a great guy who unfortunately lost his battle with cancer this last September. But just a few days ago, or well, last week, July 13th was officially Andrew Horror Day, where we celebrate him. And here at Cinema Society Saturday, we decided to do something special. All of the movies that we're reviewing for this week are movies that unfortunately Andrew has not been able to see, as they all came out after his passing. So we all decided that for this week, Andrew is our partner, and we're reviewing these films for him. By the way, if you don't know who Andrew Horror is, and if you're not following him, you still can go do so. His account is still active. Feel free to check out all the stuff he put out, getting to know him better, and more about his life. So for this week, I actually decided to do double duty and watch two of the movies that Andrew wasn't able to see. And so here is the first one. It's What's Inside, the 2024 film, directed and written by Greg Jardin. So this movie had actually been on my watch list ever since it came out last year. I just never actually sat down and finally did it. But now that I have, I am very glad that I did. This movie is definitely much more of a sci-fi comedy, but when you really look at it, it does actually have a lot of horror elements to it, especially with how scary this potential situation could be. So let me tell you about the concept for this one. One of our main characters, Ruben, is going to be getting married. And so he, of course, wants to have a one big last celebration with some of his best friends. So Cyrus, Shelby, Dennis, Nikki, Maya, and Brooke all come to this house to be able to celebrate and have a good time. Now, there is another member of this crew named Forbes, who the group hasn't seen for about 8 years since they had a big falling out. But Ruben did decide to send him a message and invite him anyways. So Forbes, in fact, does show up. And what he's been doing these past 8 years has been working in the science and technology sector. And he's decided to bring a fun game for all of the friends to play, as games were their big thing back in the day. Now, the game is actually a bit of technology that he's been working on. What it does is each of the people who are involved attaches electrodes to the sides of their head, and then once he presses the button and starts the contraption, it actually changes everyone so each person's brain switches to someone else's body. At first, everyone freaks out quite a bit, but once they realize how much fun this could be, they do end up turning it into a party game where they're trying to figure out who's who and who's in whose body. Now, this does eventually lead to secrets being revealed and some very uncomfortable moments. I won't say more than that just because this is a very interesting movie to watch. They do a very good job of kind of cluing you in at moments as to who's in whose body, but a lot of it is still really a big mystery throughout. And like I said, there are some interesting secrets that get revealed as well. I'd say my only kind of gripe with the movie is that, and this is probably just because I watch way too many movies, but I was able to figure out the twist pretty early on. But I still really enjoyed watching the twist unfold. So if you want to check out It's What's Inside, it's currently streaming for free on Netflix. And at least for me on my scale, I'm giving this movie a 5 out of 5. I thoroughly enjoyed this one. So I hope you enjoyed this special episode of Cinema Society Saturday as we all celebrate with Andrew Horror. The picture you see before you is a list of everyone who was involved this week as we all sat and watched these movies with Andrew. And if you'd like to see what everyone else did for their reviews, just look up the hashtag Cinema Society Saturday.